Hey everyone, so welcome to Wine and Real Estate. So we're doing something different tonight. We're going live on Instagram and Facebook. So you'll see us looking this way and that way.
Yes.
Because we have two cameras. So yeah, Wine and Real Estate is going to be different tonight. We're actually going to have a guest. So we have Mandy Branham, the JV Queen, joining us to talk about wine and real estate.
Yes.
So anyway, it's going to be exciting. Jennifer?
Yeah, so we're going to be drinking wine and talking about what she knows best, joint ventures. So I'm excited to hear what she's going to be saying tonight, and just excited to have this chat. We've been following her podcast. If you guys haven't seen her podcast, one thing that we really enjoy about Mandy Branham is that she's just straightforward. She just gets to the point and has really good information to share. So I think it's a good opportunity for people who either don't know about joint ventures or are wondering about doing joint ventures or investing in real estate.
Yeah, exactly. And we've actually begun doing some joint ventures ourselves. So it's going to be interesting to find out some more techniques, and if there's anything. So hey Andy, who's watching us on Instagram. So that's cool. So yeah, we're just waiting for Mandy. We should open some wine in the meantime. So
maybe we can talk about that.
Inexpensive bottle. So Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. So it's an Italian wine, estate grown. Woohoo! So it's actually from one of our joint venture partner. So we recently signed a joint venture agreement.
That's right too.
And yeah, she brought us the bottle. So
I'll open it while he chats.
Yes. So I need to talk. Yeah, we just decided to start this video early just to see like technical, and we're doing something new. So we have a virtual assistant now who's going to help us set it up and probably convert it. Yes. Salut, do you need your wine?
Yes.
So actually we should aerate it. So actually a very wise person, Laurel Simmons, co-founder of the Right Club. As you can see, I work with the Right Club as well part-time. So she showed us how to aerate your wine.
We're not very good at it, but that's okay.
Yeah, you just swirl it around in your glass and...
Yes, I'm better at it, the table version.
Yeah, table version.
You guys can't see the table version.
Hey, we got the people from Island Flips. Hey guys.
Yes, cheers.
Cheers. So yeah, we're just waiting for our guest, Mandy Branham. We did a trial run this afternoon, so I'm hoping...
everything goes well.
Yeah, so Jennifer, we can't see you on Instagram, but on Facebook.
That's okay if you guys can't see me, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, we're like movie stars without the...
without the stars.
Hair, makeup, or stars, but... We do have money partners and properties, and we have an audience that's growing, so this is exciting. And we have wine.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want to tell them a little bit about the Montepulciano. It's one of our favorites. So
yeah.
It's a full-bodied wine. It's Italian. Oh, I'm not even showing the bottle. Here it is. You guys can
for
see
Instagram and for Facebook.
And for Facebook. So Citra, Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. I'm probably not saying that right, but anyway. One of our favorites, and one of the reasons why is because it goes well with a lot of foods that we like to eat, pasta, pizza, and it's something that we really enjoy. Yeah,
and it's a good wine for fall. So it's richer, thicker, like the viscosity when you look at it. It's thicker, and it's
a disc.
Yeah, the disc. Yes, let's analyze the disc.
Is,
there you go. So she's on. Oh, there you go. Hi, Mandy. So there's no join button. Great. Okay, so we're gonna figure this one out. If you want to join us, Mandy, on Instagram, and then I'm gonna try and figure out the Facebook. So yeah, we did a trial run this afternoon, but it was on my personal account, and my virtual assistant was very nice. She set it up, but she put it on our company page, which adds another layer of complexity. So. Anyway,
I'm not sure how to...
invite people, to join the live, so...
Well, I guess we close it and jump on your
So
page?
Mandy, yeah, if you can just join us on Instagram, and then we'll be able to do that one. You just have to watch the video, and then I'll see you watching, and I can invite you on. As for Facebook, it's supposed to be the same, but I'm gonna try and have a look at it. So maybe, anyway, it's like that. So we learned from Dave Dubois. We took a course with him. He said about raising capital, and just some great tips and tricks. There's Mandy. Perfect. And Davy Queen on Instagram. And for Facebook, we're gonna just try and resolve this. So perfect. So Mandy's joining us. There you go. Hello.
There we go. Hello, hello.
So we do need our wine now with this.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salut. I don't even have my wine by my campfire right now.
Oh man, we missed that one.
That's nice. Where are you, home or?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
I'm at home. So you're just trying to maybe a little bit of a different office space for our chat tonight to give me that feeling of relax that you always get when you have a glass of wine in your hands.
Exactly. So we're having some Italian wine. We need your mailing address for the next one. We're gonna have to mail you a bottle.
Yes.
And that's actually part of our questions. Do you like red or white? Because we don't know if we
Are
sent
you red or white?
I enjoy a nice glass of red wine and just sip on it. It's, that room temperature, because I probably am never organized enough to keep white wine in the fridge and give it chilled when I need it.
Yes, exactly.
Cool. So yeah, for Facebook, we're just giving it a try again. Are you, Jennifer's being the tech woman there?
I'm not very techy, but
yeah, followers, allow followers to leave comments, slow discussion. Okay. Anyway, I think it's going to be Instagram for tonight, so I apologize.
Sorry about that.
The people can hear. Right. We're going to try and repeat a bit, so on Facebook they can hear us, and then we'll post the Instagram video on Facebook and make it happen. So we're really excited to have you on, Mandy.
This is good. This is good.
You look for potential.
I look for potential?
Yeah, this afternoon you said you see potential where others maybe don't see it. So I'd like to hear more about that if you have if you'd like to elaborate on that.
Yeah, so I think sometimes people, they're looking at the top 10 cities in Ontario to invest. Hi doggy. They're looking for the Burr method. They're looking for that vacant fourplex, and sometimes it's not what your eyes can see, but what you can envision this asset to be. Is that me with all this feedback?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
Maybe
just take the.
I think we'll end
the feedback.
Yeah, I think we're gonna end the Facebook Live. Sorry, and then focus on Instagram. Sorry for our Facebook followers.
Perfect.
Yes, go to delete, and then there you go. Okay.
Perfect.
There we go.
Perfect.
That's better.
All these little technical difficulties get us one step closer to being comfortable on it, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're like, well, just wing it.
That's
really.
Also. Only 3,000 more steps to being comfortable.
Yeah. More wine.
Yeah. People will say, "Oh, I like all your social media. You're everywhere," and I was like, I'm not really, but I'm just like, that's just where I am. So I'm, and you're just authentic. You're just, sharing what you're doing. People really like to follow that. So, but my share is, seeing potential is kind of seeing ahead of the game. What are other people not seeing that maybe you can see? So it's not, oh, that's a great fourplex, but it needs to be vacant. Well, it's not vacant. It's not vacant. And kicking the tenants out is not a fun thing to do. I don't suggest it to people. I don't like that style of investing. But what can you see? Can you see adding bedrooms into an unfinished basement? If there's, one gentleman had a townhouse fourplex, and each townhouse had an unfinished basement. So he finished the basement with a little rec room and a bedroom. and he increased the value of his asset by like $140,000.
Oh my goodness, that's a good one. Wow.
Right? So what are you not seeing? Are you, okay, so duplex single family homes on the duplex mountain. Can't find them. They're in multiple offers. You're in bidding wars. The numbers don't work. Then stop buying them.
Yeah.
Right?
That's in Hamilton, I guess, for the Ottawa followers. We used to live in Hamilton for a while. Hamilton Mountain. I remember we lived there when 1999, 2000, 2001. You could buy a house for like 80,000 in Hamilton. It was a joke. 80 to 100, like some nasty areas. But anyway.
You get them at that price.
London, Ontario, we lived there for a while. It used to be super cheap. Townhouses for $69K, so it was crazy. Wow. Mm-hmm. But great idea.
Yeah.
Like here, we're in Ottawa, and the market is nuts. And looking at vacant possession, good luck with the landlord and tenant board. So you have to look at other options.
You got to look at it. Sorry, now I'm realizing I need to charge my phone. All those aspects.
So we'll have another sip. So red wine, always good.
Always good. Roll with the times. One of the things people always say when you're attracting joint venture partners is just be real, just be authentic. They want to know you've got the same issues that they do, and you just got solutions. You got ways to be able to overcome the problem. And that's what's going to make you a better joint venture partner, because you come up with solutions. You don't get stuck in the problem. Whereas there's definitely a lot of people who, the numbers don't work, the mortgage rates are changing, I'm not sure about the market, so they'll stop. And as a joint venture specialist, you've got to be the one that shows them that there's options. Okay, so let's get a long closing date.
Exactly. Oh, so I guess Mandy's freezing up now.
Okay. I needed to trust my computer that I could charge my phone in it. So, you've as an active joint venture partner, you've got to be the one that conveys confidence to your financial partner. So if you think that the timelines for a renovation can be 6 months, then convey confidence that 6 months is the number. It's not a maybe, it's not a whatever. It's this is what it's going to be based on all of the calculations that I've done, right? So just really creating a clear vision right now. I just held a retreat this past weekend called Clarity in a Time of Change. And, just really trying
that's a good one.
Yeah. And, so where do you find clarity in times of change? Most people just focus on the fact that everything's changing, but you've got to be able to find clarity. So as an active working partner, such as yourselves, you guys are finding the clarity in the deal, the clarity in the tenant profile, the clarity in the financing structure that you're suggesting or promoting. So just creating that clarity for.
Yeah. Okay, so technical problems night.
It's frozen again.
Yeah.
But that's so true, that just finding the clarity and being authentic, like you said, is so important when you're doing a joint venture, especially from the side of the working partner mind.
Yeah.
Because you might have somebody who doesn't have any real estate investing experience.
And then they get stressed out. My goodness, this is happening. We're gonna lose everything. No, don't worry. There are ways around it. And this is funny. I received an email from you about you have something right now, a property you're featuring. I'm like, look at this. It's super clear, very structured. You are showing that clarity there. Like, here's what to expect, your money, how much to invest, what's the after repair value. So it's a great example. If anybody's following, you should follow Mandy. And what's your company name again? I forget. Sorry.
Solutions Driven Property Group.
There you go.
That's
the name's
perfect.
In there. It says it all. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have someone asking me, how do I get into our live? Maybe we can try it again, but with my personal account. So
maybe try it. But in the meanwhile, do you have a funny wine story or tale to tell?
I did a TikTok recently about wine. There's a couple funny TikToks that wine is the joke behind it, and always seems to get a lot of attention and good laughs and stuff like that. So lots of jokes made behind not big enough wine glasses, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So
yes, that's for sure.
yeah, absolutely. I can't go live on Facebook and on Instagram as well, can I?
Yeah, we're using our phone and computer. So there you go. We're learning as a team. So if anybody's thinking about doing these types of guerrilla social media,
yes.
So it's a tip I actually got from Legacy Home Investments, John and Amanda Eagle. So great couple. If anybody's
they were just on. I just saw them on here.
Yeah, so you need to follow
great
them.
Investing couple. So, so we're talking about joint ventures. You're a working partner. How do you choose a joint venture partner?
Yeah, so I've got I've advised people to create an ideal joint venture partner. What I look for in somebody who is somebody who loves what they do, they are full-time at it, and they're looking for passive income. That's absolutely what they're looking for. So they've got financial stability. I'm not taking their last $100,000 to be able to do an investment, and that they understand the value of long-term investing. So so I just kind of put it out there, and that's what I look for. That's what I attract.
Okay, that's great. And you say long-term. Are your joint ventures usually long-term, or?
Yeah,
like
so
5 years or
minimum 5 years. I follow the term of the mortgage, but I do not joint venture on flips. I don't. I got a whole kind of share on that. I don't feel that's a joint venture. I feel that somebody who's going through and working that hard should really just be borrowing private money, because you're giving away too much of your profit. But you definitely can figure out how to joint venture for the long. Like you can do a flip to yourself, whatever you want to call it, but joint venturing on a flip is a lot of work and not a really great return for the working partner.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. Actually, I listened to your podcast about that, when to have a joint venture or a money partner, and I thought that really made sense.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, more than I do then. There you go.
That's why we're a team.
Yeah, that's why we're a team.
Yeah, and because it's really interesting. People will be like, oh, yeah, somebody wants to joint venture with me on a flip. And it's like they're the contractor. And so their work is the free work as a contractor.
Mm.
And the money partner is making profit as well as getting a return on their dollar.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is your job. You need to make an income, and you're looking at profit over and above. So borrow their money, pay them a fixed 10, 15%. I actually worked it out. So I've got a deal right now. I need somebody to come in with $400,000. Okay. So the difference of scenario. I need their money for 1 year. At the end of 1 year, I need them to qualify for a mortgage, and that mortgage is going to cover off all of their property, all of the money that they have lent out. For the year, it's going to cost them just under $1,000 a month to carry their HELOC, based on a 2.95% interest rate on their HELOC. Okay, and at the end of the year, for the next 10 years, it's an infinite return.
Wow,
awesome.
That's great.
It's an infinite return. So if somebody said to me, well, I can't carry the HELOC on my own, I can't pay that $11,000. Well, then A, they're probably not a partner that I want to partner with. But B, they're thinking that it's costing them $11,000 for the duration of the time that they own this asset. Okay.
Yeah.
If I were to borrow their money, I would borrow their money and they would make $60,000.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah, it's much less than the real end result.
But they have to get beyond the thought of putting out that $11,000, right? So
yeah, it's the mindset. So I'm on the Facebook Facebook Live. I don't know if you can see our video, and anyway,
so it's with François and Lanthier and not FL Homes.
Yeah, sorry everybody.
Oh, it's not FL Homes.
Not anymore, because I wonder if somehow that might help, but I don't. Yeah. Anyway, we're trying.
Okay.
fancy there.
I'll find it. I'll find it.
We're going to get there.
Yeah.
There we go.
On the Facebook Live, I don't know if you can see there's a delay. That's funny.
Yeah, there is. But I'm now still looking for where I can
add, yeah, and I don't. Somehow that might help, but I don't. Yeah. Anyway, we're trying. Okay. We're gonna. Yeah. Well, there's 8 people. Oh, there's Karina who's watching us.
You can keep that on. I'll just stay on Instagram. How's that? I guess they can't necessarily see that, but yeah. Mm-hmm. What are you guys working on next?
Sorry?
What are you working on next?
So it's something that you actually inspired us to do, like, well, a bit mindset. So yeah, that call was, yeah, I owe you a bottle. So that's why we need to ask, and we'll need your address. We're not going to stalk you or anything. Well, maybe we will, but anyway.
That's fine. That's fine.
But yeah, just like the mindset. So not being afraid to ask. So at first, asking for $25,000 to a money partner was scary. We're like, that's a lot of money. And then 50 was like, okay, 50, that's our limit. Now 100, well, yeah, that's fine. 100's easy.
Yes.
So yeah, 400K is our next goal. We're going to ask for like full amount. We do have some money partners that can lend us those amounts, and not even gonna blink. So
yes,
yeah,
money partners that are gonna lend that to you, or that they're gonna come in and partner.
So we have done both. So we have 3 joint ventures that we've done so far, and they're going really well. So we're the working partners in those situations, and that we also have money partners. So we kind of do a little bit of both, a little bit how you said, depending on the situation. So if it's something that we feel that is just more profitable just to have the money partner, then we do it that way. And if it's something that we can share, because I really like a joint venture and the fact that you're sharing knowledge with the people, you're sharing, it's not just it's not just getting the money from the person, it's kind of sharing. So that's something that I really like. That's one thing I'd like to you kind of explain to the people who are listening. Why do you choose joint ventures? Like, I'm assuming you do mostly joint ventures since you're the joint venture queen.
Yeah.
With money partners.
Yeah. So if I could just make a little bit of clarity in the terminology. So you guys are working partners, you're expert partners, but there's 2 sides of the coin, right? So your partner in a joint venture is the money partner.
That's correct.
When you are discussing a private money lender,
that's totally different.
Yeah, because we do both. We do our own projects and we do joint ventures.
Right.
We do projects, cash, we do everything.
Right. So in a joint venture, you've got the working side and the money side. And then if you just borrow the money on your own, they're just a private money lender, right? Exactly. You just brought somebody in, they're a private money lender. So why do I joint venture? Because in 10 years, we're gonna go down to Turks and Caicos or the Maldives Island, and I'm gonna have created 40+ millionaires around me, and I'm not going down there by myself.
Awesome.
I think it's the service that we're able to provide, to be able to be confident in the investments that we're offering to people. There's more money out there than there are people that know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And so here we are, we've got this knowledge, we've got this ability, and I'm fine to have 50% of, $100 million portfolio rather than, what I can get on my own. And I've done some properties with private financing through this, everybody's talking about the 100% financing. I just have to tell you that it is so effing stressful. You are pulling out your hair. Here's my share on that is I had the broker call me up and we're like, oh, Mandy. I was like, I just came through COVID. My contractor didn't care. He needed to get paid. The inspector didn't care. He wouldn't come into my basement, wouldn't move my project along. I'm busting my butt. I'm making sure that the tenant has the ability to be able to pay me, the one that's upstairs, as I'm legally finishing the basement. And you know what she said? She's like, well, the lender still needs to make his money. And I'm like, you know what? The lender needs to understand that I'm busting my butt on this side here, okay? So I'm really sorry if your payment is going to be 5 days late, 7 days late. I don't know about you, but, you know, half the population just deferred their fucking mortgage payments.
Yeah.
And you are asking me like you're not even having any sympathy. So let me now talk how I communicate with my joint venture partners. Okay?
Yeah.
We're in this together. I've done all that I can to be able to communicate with the tenants, and I will continue to be able to let them know of the ways that they can, you know, bring in their income. We're not going to take any cash flow payments right now. Are you in agreement? I'm in agreement. That's great. So instead of it being like, you know, the private money lender is up here and you're just a measly borrower, you are in this together to be able to say that we are going to strategically make decisions that are best for both of us on an outcome kind of side. So I, in a time of COVID, would rather have 1,000 JV partners around me than to have 1,000 deals that I have private money lenders knocking at my door asking me for a payment.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of why we're trying a bit of both. We're like, oh, this is exciting. You could have sole proprietorship. You're on your own, but then, yeah, you are on your own. So
yeah, like you said, it's much more stressful.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, this is nice, but so, okay, cool. Wow, great tip again. So there you go. The focus that I like, the clarity, like you said, it's so important. And that's why we wanted to talk to you and share this with our followers, and hopefully people can learn from you and join you with the Millionaire Club.
Yes. So do you have like a really, like a bang on tip or story that would encourage people when investing in real estate?
Action speaks louder than over analysis.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Analysis paralysis. Sometimes it's really something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes
you know,
the actions you kind of learn on your way, it's not as bad as just sitting there and not doing anything.
Yeah.
Think about the worst property you could have bought 5 years ago. Does it really seem like the worst property now today?
Yeah, I think almost any property you can get your hands on today.
Do you remember that place? Was that the one in Alexandria? It was a smoker's house, and it was so, it had like nicotine dripping from the walls.
Yeah.
But it still would have been worth more today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we could have fixed it up and
yeah, exactly.
Bought the pants for the owner. And
I have properties that, you know, were $126,000, and I was like, oh, I don't want to pay another $1, another $1,000, and now I'm just like, oh, what was I thinking? Why didn't I just, you know, put up the extra $3,000, $5,000, whatever the heck it was, and get the deal, right? It's all about the deal. And then, you know, joint venture partners, they'll have 2 deals in front of them, and they're like, well, I'm not sure which one. And I'm like, you know, whichever one is the right one, just letting you know, but stop overthinking this because they're both good deals, like, period. So it's, you know, action will speak louder than, you know, oh, I'm just going to go to another course. I'm taking another webinar. I'm going to go to another summit. Like, that's all fine and dandy, but, you know, I'll never leave another joint venture partner, you know, active partner or financial partner stuck, unsure. Analysis paralysis, you know, that's kind of my share out there, is if you've got a JV deal that you want me to look over, I would much rather have it looked over before you enter into a deal and give you a few little insights or, you know, viewpoints, than somebody to not get into the deal because they've got unanswered questions or, you know, be stuck in between 2 properties. So just get in there.
Is that something that you do, like consulting like that? Or if somebody had like a future or?
You know what? So a while ago, I decided that it was either going to be my marketing guy described it as a campfire. And my campfire, around one campfire was going to be coaching clients. And around the other campfire was my joint venture partners. And I just realized that I was trying to put wood on both of these fires, and that's, you know, what does
A lot
wood
of
look
wood.
like? It's a lot of time, it's energy, it's focus. Where does my dollars go to be able to build the system, things like that. And I realized that as I was potentially, you know, moving towards one, I wasn't alive every day. I wasn't excited about what I was doing. So I put out a campfire, and I focused on my joint venture partners, finding and negotiating the deals, connecting those partners. And so I don't coach, I don't do consulting, but my share is someday I will, when I am, you know, when I've got my systems in place that I can just, you know, put all my joint venture partners will just come into and flow through my system. But in the meantime, yeah, I mean, yeah, if somebody really wants some consulting, I can do that for them, possibly, but it's not a widespread thing that I do. But I never leave anybody hanging. Like, I don't want someone to be like, oh, I didn't know who I could ask to review this deal before I signed the joint venture agreement. I'm like, pick me, I'll look it over. It's probably like your discovery call. Doesn't mean it's going to be nice, doesn't mean it's going to be comfortable, but it's a set of eyes that has no emotion over what the outcome is. So if you don't like what I have to say, great. But if you take a little bit of the advice, or you ask a few more questions, perfect.
Absolutely. And I love the content you're putting out, your marketing team or yourself, you're doing great. I love that little sheet. What was it called? How to pick your joint venture partner, something like that. It had like a few questions. So great tip. I shared it in my groups in Ottawa.
Yeah.
And also, if anybody's listening, great resource. It really helps with, again, clarity, which is so true and something that's really lacking. And I see some questions and some comments. So
yeah,
Karina, that's amazing. You're such a great help, the JV Queen. So yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
You're a help to a lot of people, to the community, and it's growing. We had something else a bit earlier.
Yeah, it was about a tax question.
Oh yeah, tax question. Yeah, so we're not accountants. I don't know if you are, Mandy, but
no.
Yeah, please no.
She's not the accounting queen. She's the JV queen.
That's it. So yeah.
Yep. There are good people on my power team, but what tax implications are incurred when it comes to rental properties and personal income? So, you know, a rental property is, you know, if it's held in your personal name, it will be added on to your personal income. If you are in whatever tax bracket you're in your personal income is where the rental income is going to kind of go. Mm-hmm. And so you really need to be mindful of the amount of properties you're buying, and the liability that revolves around your life. If you choose to put things into a corporation, and then you can buy the properties in a corporation, and then whatever your tax rate is in your corporation is what you're going to be taxed at that way. And you don't pay tax on refinances. So there was just somebody the other day that I clarified that on. Right, so you can pull out $100,000 in a refi, but it doesn't affect your tax return. Go and use that money and recycle it around, because the gain will be paid when you sell the asset. High five! Don't be cheap. If you have to pay tax, pay the tax, because gosh darn it, that means you made money.
It's a privilege. I know it sucks, but it's actually that means you're doing well. So yeah, our accountants pay the least amount possible, but do pay it. So
yeah. What's this? So what's your usual JV partnership split? From I always, people's names are so funny on here, it doesn't necessarily come across as to who it is. So if I know you, I know you. If I don't, I apologize. My usual split is a 50-50 joint venture. I usually talk about a table, and that each partner brings with them to the table value. And so if it's 50-50, then you need to know that you're bringing 50% of the value. So a money partner, and in my case, somebody that qualifies for the mortgage, is 50% of the value. And on the other side, it's going to be me. So I need to be able to bring equal amounts of value as it is money that I'm asking my JV partners. So that could be in the form of, you know, bookkeeping and accounting systems are value. The deal is major value. Contractors that are showing up and on time is major value. The flow of a renovation and keeping it on time and on budget, and knowing that with the shortages of supplies that you're going to be able to keep the project moving. Are you creative and solutions driven and be able to keep that project moving? There's value in that. Do you have, you know, good lines to a mortgage specialist and understand how to build a portfolio for your joint venture partner? That can be value. So when you really recognize that for the value that a financial partner is bringing, that you're bringing equal amount of value, for me, that's where a 50-50 split comes in.
That's so true.
I do have a funny statement that says, you know, I don't mind. I might, you know, I could offer you a 60-40 split, but I'm not sure you're willing to give up that extra 10%.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one, but it is a lot of work. The working partner does do a lot of work. It's not just
yeah, you don't set up the
it's
deal
not
at first.
superficial. It really is a lot of work.
In depth and all your knowledge, like how many years experience they're paying for that, like 10 years, 15 years, whatever it is. So
right.
paying for all that experience, and 50% is actually, you could have gone the route with a private lender and paid 10, 12, 14% interest. So it is cheaper, but I mean, you're getting a lot less, no support, you're not sharing the risk. I'm actually tempted in doing a deal with you when I saw that sign. Jennifer and I were just talking. We're like, well, we have money for a deposit, and we're pre-qualified for a property. So yeah, maybe for once we could be
the money
partner.
We're not used to that.
Yeah, we're like, oh.
I'm the money partner. I'm the money partner on 5 deals right now. So, I mean, it's when you've got the cash sometimes. So mine, though, are creative. I need somebody to qualify for the mortgage. So it's a little bit of a different split that you can offer. So another split can easily be somebody bring the money, somebody bring the mortgage, still a 50% on the one side, and the working partner still is the other 50%. Right?
Yeah.
The only split that I'll really encourage you to not consider is the one where you've got too many working partners.
Yeah.
There's
you need some people with money.
Yeah, there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And there's too many people wanting to make decisions, and there's too many people who are right, and they, you know, like, so I had one, and it was a lovely gentleman and his wife, and they wanted to come in, and, you know, the money wasn't equal, but yet we would have been equal with the work and stuff. So about 3 weeks left into the renovation, I was like, look, dude, if we're 50% like working partners here, I'm going to step away, and I'm like looking at my clock, right? I'm like, I'm going to step away from this job site, and you can finish the entire project, because that in my head will be that we've been here 50-50. And he looked at me and he was like, we have holidays booked next week. And I was like, yeah, you think I've had a holiday this summer? Like, I haven't.
Yeah.
So I gave him his options. I was like, look, I'll pay you all the money back when we do a refinance, and I'll give you a portion of, you know, I'll pay you hard money to aboard your money. Other than that, and you can step away. So he called me back an hour later and he said, we're out because we can't keep up our end of the bargain that we said we would do. And away he went. So we held on to that asset. It was an infinite return after we refinanced it. It was genius. But he couldn't handle the amount of work that needed to be done. So I just, from that day on, was like, nope, I'm the working partner. And anytime it kind of came into, you know, well, we'd like to come and do some work, I'm like, you can come and work on the gardens. That's it. You know? Like,
you fluff the pillows. Or...
Yeah. But you know what? They don't usually, you know, and here's another, just a reminder that the majority of my JV partners are out of town easily, out of province significantly. And so many of them I've never shaken their hand. Like, we've Zoom called, we've communicated, we email back and forth, but I've not shaken half of my joint venture partners' hands.
Really? Wow. And not just because of COVID.
Yeah, that's it. That was before you were a trendsetter.
Oh, wow.
Right, but it really it allows you to remove the emotion for your JV partner, because they're either getting in or they're getting in to buy with you. They're not getting in because of the color of the walls or, you know, the layout of the bedrooms. They're getting in because they trust you to be able to put their money to work confidently.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's so important to have that confidence and relationship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No. Yep.
So we got another question. Well, there's a few questions we got from the right club. Top 3 things to look for in a JV partner. So I don't know if you want to address those. We kind of mentioned it, but maybe a quick recap.
So for my ideal JV avatar, I'm looking for somebody who has, I want to say substantial wealth, but this isn't their last 100,000. So that they have some experience, some investing experience. I look for somebody with a stable job, and I'm looking for somebody who only wants to be a passive partner, like period, hands down. They trust me. I mean, yeah, that's that. So
Okay.
not too
Very
difficult.
good.
That's right to the point. And I think that we had someone here that said, any investments out of province? If so, how did that go for you?
So I've not invested out of province. My investors have been from out of province. So there's a few little nuances. They have had a lawyer here and sign with a notary in their province. Okay, so they do use my.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Same with BC. They used my lawyer here and just signed with a notary out there.
Oh, it's a notary. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, it's a notary. And then, but I mean, I definitely invest outside of my backyard. So I'm not driving by my properties every day. I set up systems. And so how I've kind of done it is I have partnered with other working partners. So like I have my property expert in Kingston, Fern Gauthier, and Fern is my on the ground property expert. I connect the joint venture partner, and Fern is the property expert. So he finds and negotiates the deal. We've connected and communicated. We problem solve. We decide on design and layout and budget and problem solve around, tenants and N11s and, all that kind of stuff. And then I'll go and bring the JV partner. So it's still a 50-50 split. But as I continue to grow and realize that, here we are again, 50-50 is great, but I can only handle so much of the 50, and there's only so much in my backyard, and there's only so much time I want to be away from my family from. And so I was like, okay, so how do I take my knowledge and continue to grow, even though now I'm attracting JV partners quite consistently. So I found somebody in Hamilton who does Hamilton St. Catharines. I have somebody in Orillia, and I have somebody in Kingston, and we are breaking out into a new market. Pretty exciting new market where we have about 25 properties under contract in the last 6 weeks.
Whoa. Wow. That's a good one.
That's amazing.
So,
in Ontario.
So yeah, you were asking earlier what's next for us. So yeah, we need a new market. Yes. That's next.
Oh, but that's a great way to scale, because obviously you can't make any more hours in the day. You can't keep always doing half of the work on every project. It just would never end. You just would stop sleeping.
Yeah, and you've got really good people on your team, right? I know there's lots of people in this industry. Sarah Eder is a great one. She's got systems and contractors. She might go to her job site the odd time, but she's got people that she trusts on her team. So it's one really big thing. The first couple JVs, that people that say I'm going to be the working partner, and they physically can see themselves with a hammer and a paintbrush, and and you're like, no, that's not the working partner that you need to be. You don't need to be the working partner. Mm-hmm. So it's really important for the real estate expert, aka the working partner, to this is where we talk about your $10 an hour jobs, your $100 an hour jobs, and your $1,000 an hour jobs. And as a working partner, that is it's just exhumed, and it's magnified in the fact that if you're cleaning and cutting the grass and painting, you're definitely not finding your next joint venture partner.
Nope.
And if
not at all. We send our kids that.
Yes.
So our son does the lawn mowing.
Thank God for teenagers.
Yeah. But yeah, really, you need to be able to contract it out and find someone to do the work, not yourself. If not, like you said, you don't have time to look for more properties. Like finding 25 properties in 6 weeks, that's a lot of work. So you had to have some resources, and that takes time to establish and see where you add value. That's my thing as well now. where do I add the most value? I can paint a wall, sure, but might not be great. It'll probably take 5 coats. But I'll get it done, but I'm not adding real value there. No. While I could hire someone, it's going to cost me something, but it's an expense. So anyway, it's not bad when we're talking about income tax. You want expenses like within reason. So yeah, that's the best thing to do.
Then go to the next level, right? So the next level is you can find your next tenant, you can place that tenant, you can sign a lease, or you can hire someone to do that for you as you continue to go around. And I mean, I know there's rent-to-own companies out there, and they're crying for properties. So they don't lack the what do they call it? They don't lack the tenant buyers.
It's the property.
They're lacking the property. So finding and negotiating that next property, not all of a sudden has just jumped out to be able to say, if you can find the next deal, not place the next tenant, not paint the next wall, if you can find the next deal, you have something that others really want.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
So moving forward, what do you see for the next 6 months, like in real estate investing? What's your kind of feel or
love it?
Post-COVID.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be post-COVID.
Yeah.
So we can hug people and cough and kiss and.
I'm probably it's probably going to be a pretty boring answer, but I'm a rental housing provider. And my business is housing.
Yeah.
And so for the next 6 months, I'm going to be creating a product, AKA rental units, that my clients, my paying customers are going to want.
Yeah, and that they can afford. That's something I really enjoyed. I heard you on an interview, and you said affordable. We do the same. Like, we're not going to put quartz and heated floors and a spa off the master bathroom, like bedroom or something crazy for a rental. We're going to look at the masses because those are your main clientele, like Dollarama. They sell cheap stuff. They're very successful. So we're not the Dollarama of rentals, but I mean, you sell to the larger group, something clean, decent. So I love what you said. It was really good.
Yep. Yeah. And so if you, for the next 6 months and the next 6 years, I'm going to share with you that if your business is the rental housing business, that you are going to continue to be able to provide a product that is a product which is for your clients, and your clients is somebody that's going to rent your unit. So, don't lose focus in that. It doesn't matter if the value of your asset has gone up or down. I'm going to have a lineup of tenants waiting to be able to buy my products. So, you keep, it's going to constantly be, you're in demand. Your product is in demand.
Yeah,
absolutely. So and it really is, regardless of what's happening in the economy, it's people need a place to live, right?
Like the barber shop, you need a haircut no matter what.
Well, you say that, and then during COVID, I cut my family's hair.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So did she.
Yes, a few times, but it wasn't the best.
No, me neither. And I think that was just the really interesting factor. Premier Ford in here in Ontario said that, I'm going to give you money and I want you to pay your groceries, buy groceries, and pay your rent. So this shows you how high on the basic human needs that our product is, right? We're not, a new bow tie, a new pair of earrings, another hat, another gadget, no. That stuff is very low or can be chosen to be removed off of the priority list. Food and shelter. And we are providing that shelter.
In January, I always love saying if you don't have shelter, you'll die. Minus 40, well, like Ottawa, minus 43 in January. You're not going to live very long. You're going to have to do a lot of jumping jacks to survive. So it's essential to need a place. And that's a big need in Canada right now. Affordable housing, like something reasonable, clean, decent. There's nothing out there. So it's good.
Yeah, maybe doing a service. I don't get into like the quote affordable housing.
No.
There are government industries that do that. I realistically, provide a ton of housing. I provide a niche of, you know, of who I'm looking for. I have an ideal tenant profile. So, you know, as you can kind of see, I really want you to have this vision of your ideal JV partner, your ideal tenant profile, and then you just kind of match the two together. This asset would be great for my partner, and it's great for the type of tenant that I want to attract. It's a great property, right? So, so I don't want to. There's Island Flips saying, have I ever participated in any government loan programs for affordable housing? And the answer is no. Now, do I have tenants? I would probably say that 50% of my tenants, 50% of my tenants are on some sort of a subsidized housing or a rental supplement or on disability. So that stuff kind of scares me or worries me. But you know, I don't discriminate against somebody who has a rental subsidy. If they're a great person, then I rent to them.
Yeah, exactly. We have some tenants as well that are receive a pension, so yeah, disability, and they're great. They actually we really like them. So yeah, great people. Like sometimes, yeah, we need some paint for the porch, and we're gonna paint it for you. Perfect. I'll drop off a can of paint, and you can paint it. That's perfect. Well, it depends on the property. That was a really cheap property, so and
that's all right. Anything that a tenant takes pride in, you just, you know, that they value where they live, and that it shows. So yeah,
it really does. Wow. Well, thank you so much for your time this evening. My goodness, we're really spoiled. Like the Right Club said earlier, we have royalty on the screen here. So and kind of like you said, take action. So that's what we did tonight. Even though we had technical difficulties, we took action. And I mean, I think, yeah, these little videos, we learned so much from meeting people like yourself. And yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, this is great. Keep doing what you're doing, because, you know, it doesn't mean that, you know, this is you know, that this was perfect and it was orchestrated and all that kind of stuff. It's just the consistency of people, you know, hearing information and, you know, listening and picking up this little tidbit here and that little tidbit there. And you just never know which one it's going to be picking up on a tidbit that you're going to take with you for a while.
Exactly.
Well, thank you.
Next week, I wanted to announce, so we have Karina. I see her on here. We have Karina as a guest. She does land assembly. So something else, Mandy, that might interest you. I don't know all the details, but I like to describe it as she buys a bunch of houses, tears them down, and rezones the area. So it sounds very exciting to me.
It's repurposing. It's recycling.
Very cool. Very cool. Well through real estate. Love it. Good job.
Yeah. So I can't wait to hear more from her. And we had the JV Queen, and I don't know what's next. So anyway.
Thank you so much. It was very insightful. And keep listening to Mandy's podcast. She always has great tidbits. I love the one about the investor hats.
Yeah.
It just always great little tidbits. I like listening to them while I work.
And your analogy,
thank you.
You're the gas pedal and your husband is the brake or something. Well, I'm the gas and the brake.
I'm the brake for sure.
I think it's good to recognize those things, right? I'm glad that everybody picks up on them. That's awesome. Thank you so much for having me. This was lovely.
Great.
Thank you.
Have a good night, and thanks for listening, everybody.
Cheers.
Yes.
Bye. Cheers.
Have some wine.
Bye.